One of the things that's really special with regards to a lot of the messaging that you put out there is your perspective in general. I admire how positive you are on a day in, day out basis, despite the circumstances that are thrown your way. I do my best personally to live like that. But to me, you're an inspiration because as far as I can see, you are living like that, day in and day out. And so let's take a couple steps back here and figure out how we're going to rewire your mindset and how you got to where you are as someone who wakes up every morning, spews out positivity, but does it in a way that's, number one, authentic, genuine, far from obnoxious, and only in a way where, those around you feel emboldened. Let's talk a little bit about, your journey from childhood.
Sure. So when I was growing up in the suburbs of New Jersey, I had a very normal childhood. Mom, dad, younger brother, younger sister, everything was all good. One morning when I was 10, I woke up and I just couldn't see out of my right eye. It was a complete shock, came out of nowhere. And so my parents took me into New York City. We saw specialist. Nobody knew what was going on. Finally, by the end of a very long day, I was diagnosed with something called Best disease, which is essentially a genetic condition that causes progressive loss of central eyesight. And so as a 10-year-old, I didn't really understand the full gravity of what that meant, but I was scared. I went through the rest of childhood with ebbs and flows through my eyesight. Feeling very different from the other kids, had to stop playing baseball, which was the sport that I loved. And so I dealt with some difficult things, but the gravity of all of that didn't hit me until a few weeks before I was going to move to Philadelphia to start graduate school. I was going to leave my family, take out a bunch of student loans, and pursue this challenging degree. And I lost a lot of my eyesight. And I was left with this decision, do I go? Do I stay? Do I pursue this dream and step into the uncertain? Or do I just stay back and play it safe? And I'm really, really grateful for my parents because in that moment, they told me, Joe, you can't live life based off of what if. What if this goes wrong? What if this happens? What if you go blind? You have to think in terms of even if. Even if this happens, even if you lose more sight, you will figure it out. And so I decided to pursue graduate school, pursue my doctorate in physical therapy, despite the uncertainty that I was facing. And to be honest, that first year of school was the hardest, darkest year of my life, hands down. I was so used to being able to give more effort to things in life and be better at them, whether that was sports or school. But no matter how hard I tried every single morning for that first year, I just could not put a smile on my face. Outwardly, I looked okay to everybody. I was in front of the class, raising my hand, answering every question, going to the gym, laughing, making jokes. But on the inside, I wasn't smiling. And it wasn't until I met who is now my wife that all of that changed and my perspective totally shifted.